Welcome back to Screen Splice, where we sift through the chaos so you don't have to. I'm Juniper, and today we are breaking down a movie that is less of a thriller and more of a weapon. It's pastel-colored, it's catchy, and it will absolutely destroy your trust in, well, everyone. Let's talk about Promising Young Woman. We open on a scene you have seen 1,000 times in every college movie ever made. A club. Sweaty, loud, pulsing bass, and full of business guys blowing off steam. And in the middle of it all, there is Cassie. She is a mess. Mascara running down her cheeks, head slumping, barely able to keep herself upright in the booth. She looks like a tragedy waiting to happen. 3 guys are watching her from across the room. And here comes the commentary we all know too well. They aren't worried about her safety. They are judging her. Look at her, they say. She's practically asking for trouble. But one of them, Jerry, decides to play the hero. He walks over, gentle, polite. He asks if she's okay. He helps her up. He offers her a ride home. It seems nice, right? He's a nice guy. But notice the moment they get into the cab. The plan changes. He doesn't take her home. He takes her to his place. He says it's because she's in no condition to be alone, but we know better. Inside his apartment, the lighting is soft, almost romantic. He pours her a drink she didn't ask for. He sits a little too close. Cassie is mumbling, slurring her words, saying she just wants to go home. He lays her down on the bed. He thinks he has won. He thinks he has found a victim who won't remember a thing in the morning. And this is where the movie pulls the rug out from under you. As he moves in, ignoring her weak protests, Cassie suddenly stops moving. Her eyes snap open, and they aren't glassy or drunk. They are stone-cold sober. She sits up, looks him dead in the eye, and asks in a voice that could cut glass, "Hey," I said, "what are you doing?" The look on Jerry's face is pure terror. Not because she has a weapon, but because the illusion is shattered. He isn't a nice guy helping a drunk girl. He is a predator who just got caught. Cassie isn't the prey, she is the trap. And tonight, school is in session. Cut to the next morning. We see Cassie walking down the street, barefoot, eating a hot dog with ketchup dripping down her hand. It is a visual metaphor that screams, she devoured him. But she didn't end him physically. No, Cassie plays a longer, crueler game. She destroys their narrative. We get a look at her real life. She is 30 years old, living with her parents in a house that looks like it's stuck in the 1970s, all floral wallpaper and silence. She works at a candy-colored coffee shop called Make Me Coffee for minimum wage. Her boss, Gail, played by the fabulous Laverne Cox, loves her, but is totally confused by her. Why is a brilliant woman who dropped out of medical school making lattes for a living? The answer is hidden in a little notebook Cassie keeps in her bedroom. It is filled with tally marks, some in blue, some in red. This isn't a hobby, it is penance. Every week, Cassie goes out, pretends to be helpless, and waits for a nice guy to try and take advantage of her. Then, she snaps them back to reality. She forces them to see exactly what they are. But why? Why throw away a promising future for this dark crusade? The cracks start to show when she has an awkward dinner with her parents for her birthday. They give her a suitcase. It is a not-so-subtle hint that maybe it's time to move out and move on. Her mom mentions the past, mentioning how she used to be top of her class. And then, a name comes up. Nina. The air leaves the room. Cassie shuts down immediately. We don't know exactly what happened to Nina yet, but we know she is gone. And we know that Cassie is living in the shadow of that loss. Nina isn't just a friend. She is the ghost that haunts this entire movie. Enter Ryan. He walks into the coffee shop and recognizes Cassie. He's a pediatric surgeon now. Charming, a little goofy, played by Bo Burnham, who is casting genius because you inherently trust him. He remembers Cassie as the genius from med school. He asks her out. She shuts him down cold. She doesn't have time for romance. She has a mission. But Ryan is persistent. He is funny. He actually seems decent. He catches her off guard by not being intimidated by her sharpness. For a second, you see Cassie hesitate. Is it possible that not every guy is a monster? Cassie decides to escalate. She isn't just hunting random guys at bars anymore. She is going after the people who knew Nina, the people who let it happen, the enablers. She meets up with Madison, an old friend from med school who is now a successful, bubbly doctor. They meet for lunch, and it is painfully awkward. Madison talks about the good old days, completely oblivious to the darkness sitting across from her. Cassie brings up Nina. She brings up the investigation. Madison gets uncomfortable. She says the thing that triggers Cassie more than anything else. It was a drunk misunderstanding. We were just kids. A drunk misunderstanding. That is how she writes off a life-destroying trauma. Cassie doesn't scream. She doesn't flip the table. She just watches as Madison gets progressively drunker on the drinks Cassie bought her. Madison starts slurring. She says she feels weird. Cassie smiles, calm and predatory. Did you drink too much? Or did someone slip you something? Madison spirals into panic. She blacks out. When she wakes up, she is in a hotel room with a strange man. She is terrified. She thinks the worst has happened. Then her phone rings. It's Cassie. She reveals it was all a setup. The man was paid to just sit there. Nothing happened. But the terror Madison felt, the helplessness, that was real. Cassie forced her to feel exactly what Nina felt that night. Lesson 1 complete. Next, Cassie goes for the top of the food chain, Dean Walker, the woman who ran the medical school when Nina reported her assault. Cassie walks into her office, posing as a concerned citizen, but quickly pivots to the truth. She asks why the school did nothing, why they protected the attacker, Al Monroe. The dean gives the standard administrative answer. We couldn't ruin a young man's career over an accusation without proof. He had so much potential. There it is, the title of the movie. Promising Young Woman is ironic. The system only cares about the promising young men. Cassie smiles and mentions that she sent a car for the dean's teenage daughter earlier that day. The dean's face drops. Cassie casually mentions the dorm room party her daughter is currently at, with older boys who have been drinking. The dean unravels. Suddenly, innocent until proven guilty doesn't apply when it's her child. She begs Cassie. She apologizes. Cassie waits until the dean is fully broken before revealing the daughter is safe at home. It was another bluff. Another lesson in empathy delivered through absolute psychological warfare. But this movie isn't just about revenge. It's about hope. And that is what makes the next part hurt so much. Cassie actually starts falling for Ryan. We get a montage that feels like a totally different movie, a rom-com dropped into the middle of a thriller. They sing along to Paris Hilton's Stars Are Blind in a pharmacy aisle. It's vibrant, it's silly, it's genuinely heartwarming. They have dinner with her parents. He is sweet, respectful, and patient. For the first time in years, Cassie stops hunting. She puts the notebook away. She starts thinking about a future. You want her to be happy. You want to believe that love can save her. But Screen Splice fans, you know the drill. If it feels too good to be true, the drop is coming. Just as Cassie is ready to move on, the past comes knocking. Madison, shaken by her encounter with Cassie, shows up at her door. She wants to clear her conscience. She hands Cassie an old phone. She says, "I found this. I thought you should have it." Cassie watches the video on the phone. We don't see the screen, but we hear it. We hear Nina pleading. We hear boys laughing. And then, we hear a voice in the background. A familiar voice. Ryan. He was there. He wasn't the one who attacked Nina, but he was in the room. He watched. He laughed. He did nothing. The betrayal is total. The nice guy wasn't nice. He was just a bystander to a nightmare who conveniently forgot about it because it didn't affect him. Cassie confronts him. He uses the classic defense. "We were kids. It was a long time ago. I didn't do anything." And that is the final nail in the coffin. Cassie realizes there is no escape. There is no moving on. Because the men who destroyed Nina are everywhere, hiding in plain sight as pediatricians and husbands. She demands one thing from him. "Tell me where Al Monroe is having his bachelor party." Al Monroe, the attacker, the final name on the list. She isn't going there to teach a lesson anymore. She is going there to burn it all down. This brings us to the most controversial ending of the decade. Cassie prepares for war. She buys a multicolored wig. She puts on a sexy nurse outfit, a deliberate caricature of a male fantasy. She drives to a secluded cabin in the woods where Al Monroe and his buddies are partying. She poses as the stripper they ordered. She gets them drunk. She spikes their scotch. One by one, they pass out, until only Al is left. She leads him upstairs. She handcuffs him to the bed. And when he is helpless, she drops the act. She pulls out a scalpel. She doesn't cut him immediately. Al starts to panic. He remembers. Of course he remembers. He tries to apologize, but it's hollow. Cassie isn't interested in apologies. She prepares to mark him, to make sure everyone knows what he is. But then, things go wrong. Al manages to break one of his hands free from the headboard. Cassie lunges. They fight. It is ugly. It is desperate. He is bigger, stronger. He pins her down. He grabs a pillow. And for 2 agonizing minutes, the camera just holds. She struggles. She kicks. And then, she stops. Cassie is gone. The movie actually did it. They took out the hero. Al and his friend Joe panic. They burn her body in the woods to cover their tracks. It's sickening. It feels like the ultimate defeat. The bad guy won. He's gonna get married. He's gonna get away with it. You're angry right now. You really want to scream at the screen. But hold on. Cassie knew the risks, and she didn't go in without a plan B. The wedding day arrives. Al Monroe is sweating, looking over his shoulder, but he thinks he is safe. He thinks he got away with it again. But then, the text messages start. Scheduled messages from Cassie. We cut to a lawyer's office. A package arrived that morning. Inside is the necklace with Nina's name, and a confession, and the location of the cabin. Cassie knew. She knew she might not walk out of that cabin alive. So she set a failsafe. She sent evidence to the lawyer, instructing him that if she didn't check in by a certain time, he was to send everything to the police. Police sirens wail in the distance at the wedding. The guests look confused. Ryan is there, looking terrified, realizing his part in this is about to be exposed. Al Monroe is arrested in his tuxedo. His life is over. His reputation is destroyed. He is going to prison for life. The final shot is a scheduled text arriving on Ryan's phone as the wedding falls apart. It simply says, "Love, Cassie." She sacrificed her life to ensure justice. It wasn't a clean victory. It was a kamikaze mission. In a world that protects promising young men at all costs, Cassie showed us that a promising young woman is the most dangerous thing on earth because she has nothing left to lose. That is the brutal genius of this movie. It doesn't give you the happy ending you want. It gives you the justice they deserve. If this recap gave you chills, make sure to hit like.
This is Screen Splice. I'm Juniper, and I'll see you in the next one.